Hi, everyone. I am Mrs. Ruiz. I'm going to be your biology teacher this semester. Most of you already know me. You had me last semester, but we might have a few new faces. So this is the biology class for Inland Online Academy, but I do also teach at Paris High. It is my home school. I am in room 1110 in the STEM building if you ever want to come and say hi. All right. So just to review, I know a lot of this we went over last semester. There are a few differences. But this year, you will be learning science, obviously, but it's not the main event. You will be learning how to properly use the internet. You are taking an online class, so this is obviously very important. It's useful in all of your classes. It is critical for your future. You can't hardly apply for a job without knowing how to use the internet. You're going to learn to complete an assignment within a certain amount of time. That is called time management. And then accountability, an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. You either show up to class, you do all your work, and you will likely pass, or you don't, and then you don't pass. And then you're stuck either going back to in-person school or taking this class again. Class structure. I will post a weekly module on Canvas. All items are in order. A list of assignments for that week. They will have links and directions. I will go over that a little bit more when I show you your Canvas page. We will meet once per week at 9:30 a.m. during second period every single Thursday. These meetings are mandatory. They are required. They are not optional. This is how we take roll for the week. This is how you get attendance. I will also have open office hours if you need help with anything else. So I will be on almost every morning at 9:30. I can also be on every afternoon at 2 p.m. But Thursdays are my class meeting days. Second period, I meet with you guys. At 2 o'clock, I meet with my environmental science class. So if you need help, those are the times that I will be online. Just email me if I'm not, and I'll open the window. We can meet. Websites and apps that we'll use. Canvas is for almost everything. Google Meet. This is how we meet. Edpuzzles. You guys will watch videos, answer questions. Infinite Campus is where your official grades are kept, not on Canvas. Canvas is to deploy the work to you, but grades are kept on Infinite Campus. And then Parent Square is the other app that we use to keep in touch with you and your parents. There is an app, or it will go straight to your email. Either way. The app's usually better because people like to text as opposed to email. Translation. If English is not your first language, there's many tools. Any work you turn in needs to be in English, but you can use these to help you understand the directions in the material. There's a Google Translate web extension. You go to the Google Chrome store and just search for it. It'll lead you through it. Canvas is really easy to translate. If you push on your mouse pad with 2 fingers, a menu pops up. You can choose the translate option and then any language you want. And all Google documents can also be easily translated. You go to the top, there's like file, edit, help, there's tools. You click tools, you scroll down, there's a translate option. You can translate to any language. Grading. The bulk of your work, the bulk of your grade will come from classwork and regular quizzes and exams. Half and half. So if you don't do great on quizzes and exams, but you do all of your classwork, it should even out your grade. And then at the end of the semester, you'll take one big test on all of the information we've talked about. That is your final, and it is worth 10% of your grade. So it can either bring your grade up 10%, or if you don't take it at all, it will bring your grade down 10%. 10 whole percent, which is a lot of percentage points. Classwork. Notes. If you were here last semester, you know we take notes. We write them on paper. Electronic notes are not accepted. You have to physically write them on paper. They should be Cornell style. There's an example in the first set of notes. What Cornell style is if you don't know. And they will be due on Thursdays after our meeting. I'll get to the notes in a second and we'll talk about why. But you guys will also do virtual worksheets, web quests, labs, the Edpuzzles. Like I said, you watch your video, you answer the questions. Discussions. I post an assignment or a question for you to answer, and then you have to respond to your classmates. We use this a lot in college. We don't actually meet face to face, so this is how you interact with your other classmates. Quizzes and exams. You will have short quizzes after every section. Exam questions will come from the short quizzes. And there will be a final at the end of the semester on all the chapters. Like I said, 10% of your grade. All quizzes and exams are open notes or open textbook if you have one. For the quizzes and exams, they will be on the lockdown browser. If you don't know what that is, it means it closes out all other tabs on your computer. When you take a quiz or an exam, you can only have that one tab open. This is already loaded onto your school-issued Chromebook. If it's not working properly, there's a Canvas announcement to help you troubleshoot. If you use another computer, you want to use your personal computer or your iPad, you have to figure out how to download the lockdown browser and use it. The test will not pop up if you don't have it. It will direct you to download it. So you're going to have to figure that out if you don't use your school-issued Chromebook. If you need more tech help than that Canvas announcement can give you, you have to go see someone at the school, virtually, of course. I am not a tech person. I cannot solve your tech issues, but the school has people that can help you with that. So go to the IOA Learning Lab or even the district's tech support page, which are both linked in the Canvas announcement that I've been referring to. Due dates. Pay attention to your Canvas calendar. You have a calendar on Canvas, and then your dashboard should show you the due dates of things also. You also have a to-do list, depending on how you're looking at your Canvas page. All assignments have to be submitted in order. There is only one assignment open at a time. Once you finish the first assignment, the next one will pop up. You cannot skip ahead just because you don't want to do the current one. Every assignment should be done by Friday every week, so then you have your weekends free. That's a little different than last semester, but try to do everything by Friday. I will accept late work, but only up until the grading period ends. The grading period ends every 6 weeks. So in the end of February, when the first grading period ends, all the work from the first 6 weeks is going to close. So get it figured out. Materials. You need your Chromebook and your charger. If you don't have one, if they don't work, go see your home school. Really, go see any of the schools. This online class thing doesn't work if you don't have a Chromebook. You need a notebook or even just loose pieces of paper. Either way, like I said, notes are required to be written down on paper by hand with a pen or a pencil, and then you're going to take pictures and turn them in. There will be some simple at-home labs. You should have all the materials in your kitchen. If not, we can talk about that later. But now I want to look at your Canvas page. So here's your Canvas page. It's full of modules. This video will be right here once I post it. The Canvas announcement will be right here, like I said, with all the tech help. There's the district calendar if you want to know when our February break is and our spring break, things like that. If you want to know when finals week is, when we get out of school in June, how to access the online textbook. It's a good resource, but our textbook is actually based in a different one, which this semester, I didn't last semester, but this semester I'm going to post the pages for you guys out of the textbook that I am using. But the textbook that the district has is a good resource. And then click here to join your IOA weekly Google meetings. Every Thursday at 9:30 or any other time you need help, you will just click here and the Google Meet should open. So the first thing you guys are going to do is the introduction and syllabus quiz. This introduction, the presentation I just went through, and I linked the syllabus. And there's questions about the class. It should be easy. You did something similar last semester. Once you submit that, then the next assignment will open, which is the Ed puzzle. Once you submit that, the next assignment will open. So they'll open one at a time. You have to finish one for the next one to open. And then the notes. I'm going to leave student view so we can look at it for a minute. Here are all of your directions. They're the same as last semester, but you click on the link. We do close notes. Your link has the blanks scattered throughout them so that when we meet on Thursdays, I go through them, we talk about them, and you guys fill in your blanks. All right, take them on paper. It can be loose paper or in any kind of notebook. They should be done Cornell style. Titles on top, the title of the slide on one side, the body of the slides on that side, and then your summary down here. Highlight and underline the blank spots. We'll go over the notes when we meet on Thursdays. Complete your summary. That's a link if you forgot how to do the summary. And then take a clear picture of your completed notes, upload them here for credit. Again, these have to be done on paper. I will not accept electronic versions of the notes. All right. That is all. I hope we have a great semester. Let me know if you guys have questions.